So guys, today we are tackling the infamous B minor chord, that chord that nobody likes to see when they're first starting out to play guitar. It's a tricky one, and we're going to tackle some basic tips on how to play a couple different versions of it, no matter what skill level you are. Now, I want to preface this by saying there is going to be a lot of similarities and parallels between this video and the video that I made on teaching an F chord and the basics of F chords, because they're both bar chords. So there's a lot of similar techniques that you can use to get both down. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link that video up here, I think up here. Just check that out because it's got a lot of good information on how to play bar chords in general, and it's definitely got some stuff I'm going to share in this video as well. So in this video, we're going to tackle 3 different kinds of B minor. The first B minor we're going to take a look at is the full bar chord B minor. This is definitely the most tricky one, and it's definitely the one that most people see and are like, yeah, I can't play that, dude. And so what we're going to do is we're going to tackle that, and I'm just going to show you guys some techniques that can help you get that chord down if you're a beginner. The second B minor chord we're going to take a look at is very, very similar to the full bar chord B minor, but we're taking away the barring, and so it gets a little bit easier. It's still most of that same chord, but we're taking away the barring. It'll make a little bit more sense when we get there in a second, but it's kind of a medium difficulty B minor chord. And the third and final B minor chord that we're going to take a look at is actually called a B minor 7, and this is a great, very, very beginner-friendly substitute for a B minor that you can use almost anywhere. Almost anywhere that you see a regular B minor chord required, you can use a B minor 7 instead. Now, it doesn't work in every situation. You don't want to use this indefinitely. You do want to get down that full B minor chord eventually, but this is a really good technique to use for anyone who's a really, really like first couple of weeks of playing guitar, even first couple of months of playing guitar. This is like something I would feel really comfortable teaching anybody, even if it's their first day playing guitar. So that third B minor chord that we're going to go over is definitely going to be the ideal one for all the beginners out there. So with all that in mind, let's start breaking down these B minor chords. Guys, the first B minor that we're going to take a look at is the full bar chord B minor. So to play this chord, the first thing you're going to do is take your pointer finger and you're going to bar on 2nd fret from the A string down. So that means we're going to lay our pointer finger flat across all the strings on the 2nd fret from the A string down. Next, we're going to take our middle finger and we're going to put it on 3rd fret of the B string. And we're going to take our ring finger and put it on 4th fret of the D string, and our pinky finger and put it on 4th fret of the G string. And we're going to strum from A string down. And guys, like I said, this is definitely the most challenging. It's the one that requires the most finger strength and the most flexibility. This is one that's definitely going to take some time and practice to get down. But a few little tips that helped me out when I was first starting out are this. Number 1, this is something we talked about in the F chord video as well, but when you're playing a bar chord like this, a lot of times you have the tendency when you're playing other chords to leave your thumb hanging over the top like this. There's nothing wrong with that necessarily when you're playing other chords, but for bar chords, it makes it a lot harder to get the adequate pressure that you need on the strings to get a good, clean sounding chord. So instead of hanging your thumb over like that, what we want to do is lay our thumb flat across the back like this. It allows us to kind of squeeze that chord in real tight, and it helps us get a lot more pressure and get a good, clean sounding chord. Much, much better. So one last little tip on this one is make sure that whenever you're barring this, that you're not barring the whole entire fret. You don't have to do that, and it makes it a little bit easier if you're not worrying about that barring that top low E string. It's not a huge, huge difference, but it can definitely help for the beginners out there who don't quite have their finger strength all the way up. So just bar from A string down. We're just not going to play the low E string, and then we can just do that same thing. We'll strum from A string down. So the second B minor I'm going to share with you guys is actually kind of a middle ground between the first and the third. It's not quite as easy as the B minor 7 we're about to take a look at, but it's also not quite as hard as the full bar chord B minor. And for this one, we're actually going to do almost the same thing as what we did in our previous one, the full B minor bar chord, but we're going to take away the barring to make it a lot easier. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is put our pointer finger on 2nd fret of the A string. We're going to have a 3rd fret on the B string with our middle finger. We're going to have a 4th fret on the D string with our ring finger, and a 4th fret on the G string with our pinky. So you'll notice we're not barring here. What we're going to do is we're going to play from A string down like we just did, but we're going to leave our high E string open and let that just ring out. This is just kind of a big open B minor chord. It's actually one of my favorites. I love the sound of this one. So with that shape right there, 2nd on A, 3rd on B, 4th on D and G, and an open high E. We're going to strum from A string down, and we're going to get that beautiful open B minor chord. This is one of my favorite chords. I love playing this one. And finally, guys, the easiest way to play a B minor on guitar, I would recommend this to any beginners out there who want to play a song that has a B minor, but you don't quite have the full B minor down. This is what you want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a pointer finger and we're going to put it on 2nd fret of the A string. Then we're going to take our middle finger and put it on 2nd fret of the G string, and we're going to take our 3rd finger, our ring finger, and put it on 3rd fret of the B string. And then for this one, we're going to leave everything else open, and we're going to strum from A string down. And this is called a B minor 7. Now, like I said, this is a little bit of a different chord, but it will fit in almost any situation that you need to play a full B minor for. You can kind of substitute this in almost any situation, and it'll do just fine. And like I said, guys, this is definitely the easiest way to play a B minor on guitar. I would recommend this to anybody, even if it's your first day playing guitar. I'd feel super comfortable teaching this to somebody on their very first day. It's a very easy chord to play. One more time through that. Like I said, it's called a B minor 7. Looks like this. We've got a 2nd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the G string, 3rd fret on the B string. Everything else is open. We don't play the low E. We'll give that one big down strum from the A string down. And guys, that is everything that you need to know to nail down that B minor chord on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helped you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 700 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel, and I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there could not be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want to see a song I'm jamming on today or pictures of my dog, you can hit up my Instagram story at @thegroovyguitardude. Link for that will be in the description below. Guys, like I said, B minor is one of the trickiest chords to play on guitar, and it's one that I struggled a lot with whenever I was first learning how to play guitar, just like the F chord that we went over a few weeks ago. So I'm really excited to share this one with you guys because I know it's something that would have helped me so much whenever I was first learning. Like I said, guys, these are some videos that I would like to start doing more of, kind of breaking down some of these basic things that a lot of people struggle with. Like I said, bar chords are hard, man. It took me a long time to be able to get bar chords down, and so breaking these bar chords down and stuff is very awesome, and it's something I'm really excited to help you guys with. But I also want to start doing more of this kind of stuff in general, where I break down some of the beginner things that it's easy to like look back for me and kind of forget some of these things and forget how hard they were at the time. And so be sure to let me know in the comments what are the things that you guys are struggling with. Like, let me know down there and just tell me what you guys are struggling with so that I can know. And it could be something like this where I can sit down and just break it down, and something might just click with you that makes it so much easier. So that's what I hope for. I hope that something in these videos just like clicks with you and like totally makes whatever you're practicing or working on that you're struggling with a lot easier. So guys, I had a lot of fun making this video and a lot of fun sharing it with you guys. I hope it helps you out, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.